Once upon a time, in the cozy town of Sunny Pines, there lived a spirited young boy named James. James loved to play soccer, climb trees, and had a knack for building intricate models out of tiny blocks. Yet, despite his adventurous nature, James often struggled to understand just how wonderful it was to have friends that were different from him. One sunny morning, James's teacher, Mrs. Fern, announced that they would be having a diversity week at school. Diversity, she explained, is what makes our world exciting and unique. James listened with half-hearted interest while doodling little rockets in his notebook. On the first day of Diversity Week, James met Miguel. Miguel was from Spain and excelled in painting beautiful pictures using vibrant colors. Though James initially didn't understand Miguel's quiet nature and passion for art, he admired the way Miguel transformed a blank canvas into something dazzling and alive during art class. Miguel painted a picture of the Spanish seaside with colors as bright as gemstones, and James found himself wanting to know more. Next, James was paired up with Lily for a science project. Lily loved exploring space and was always reading the latest astronaut books. She had cerebral palsy, which sometimes made it difficult for her to move around swiftly, but James noticed how her eyes sparkled with the stars when she talked about planets and galaxies. As they worked together to make a model of the solar system, James was amazed by her knowledge. She taught him that Saturn has rings made of ice and space dust, which James found fascinating. As the week went on, James met Akira and Sam. Akira was from Japan and loved music. She introduced James to her favorite traditional songs using a beautiful, stringed instrument called a koto. Its sound was unlike anything James had ever heard, and soon they were tapping their feet to her mesmerizing tunes. Sam was in a wheelchair, loved sports, and had a competitive spirit that matched James's own. Sam introduced James to wheelchair basketball, a game bursting with action and excitement. At first, James found it strange, but soon realized how challenging and thrilling it was, and together they laughed and learned, scoring hoops side by side. As Diversity Week came to a close, James looked around at his new friends and saw how their different backgrounds, interests, and abilities brought life and color to his everyday world. He realized that though they were all unique, they were also alike in many wonderful ways, and their differences made their friendships even more extraordinary. On the last day of school, Mrs. Fern asked the class what they learned over the week. James eagerly raised his hand and said, "I've learned that our differences make us special. They make the world more interesting and fun." James bounded home with a smile as wide as the sky, knowing how much richer his life was with the new friends he'd made. From that point on, he embraced the variety in people and found comfort in knowing that differences are what make each person shine. And so, the cozy town of Sunny Pines was filled with laughter, friendship, and most importantly, acceptance.